So yeah, to absolutely nobody's surprise, Gaia Project is a good game, and my voice is absolutely shredded. What is up, gamers? Today, we're not talking about Nancy Drew, we're not talking about Final Quests, we're talking about the Gaia Project, a work of art. The Gaia Project is a board game, so we're finally getting back into tabletop in this weekly upload so we can get put in the YouTube algorithm. Am I right, boys? Basically, I'm going to start off with an unboxing because that is what everyone wants to see on this channel. After the unboxing, we're going into the rulebook, rules reading kind of thing. I didn't read it, I might have to call Matt up. After that, we're going to talk about the gameplay, and I'm going to do some analysis of why the game works and why I like it. And after that, I'm just going to meme around for a little bit. Alright, tight, let's go, baby. So I'm about to roll some footage of me and my friend Matt opening up Gaia Project, live reaction, crazy stuff. And there's not really a lot to say about this. You're going to watch it and be like, oh, look, pieces. But what I will say is that there's a lot of components in this game that is probably pretty overwhelming for someone who's not into like games that are pretty heavy, I would say. If you're into super complex games, like this is definitely a game for you. And me and my friends didn't find it that complicated, but we also play games like a lot. So it really depends on what kind of game you're looking for. So you'll definitely see that and see later in the video how I talk about that. But anyway, I'm fresh off a dentist trip in this video, and we're going to see how I react to opening up Gaia Project fresh off the dentist trip.
Maybe.
10. Look how many little
pieces
are in this game.
I know.
It's good.
So it says 14 factions, but there's 7 double-sided faction boards.
Right.
So I don't think it's gonna be as nutty as you would think. But
No, I really like the cover.
it's pretty good art.
Yeah. Z-Man Games. Z-Man.
Oh,
shit.
wait.
Well, that's nice. Thank you.
That's really nice.
Thank you.
Holy
for
shit.
having a brain. It has one set of cards.
Oh my god, look at the baggies they give us. 10 out of 10.
I'm nutting.
10 out of 10 packaging.
This is the greatest game I've ever played.
Wait, for real? Holy shit. Alright.
Alright. Matt.
Oh. See, I was concerned as to whether or not there would be cards in this game, but... Oh!
Is it nice?
Oh, that one...
Ooh, it's okay.
Pretty good.
It's not
Pretty
bad.
good. They're very...
There's a lot of components in this game. It wouldn't surprise me if they went,
cheap?
cheap.
They didn't. I'm going to have to give it a 7 out of 10 only,
7 out of 10?
7 out of 10. I like how thick it is. I like how nice the clicks are with it. But I'm going to have to give it keep it at a 7 because it's not as glossy as I would have liked. Maybe with some play.
I think you bring up a solid point. Shit. What are these things? So, as you could tell, Matt and I are really excited about the packaging of this game, which sounds really lame, but it's actually really important that the packaging is really good for this kind of game. A lot of the components are already sorted for you, and they give you a ton of extra bags to put things in and sort in any way you really want or need. And we went way more specific than we had to, but honestly, it's just really nice to have this. It shows that the game designer and Z-Man Games, I don't really know who decides this, but either way, whoever it is, knows their audience really well. They know who's going to be playing this game and what they're going to be looking for when they are popping all of these components out in this game. You know, people who play this game are going to take care of it. So they're giving them the resources to be able to take care of it. It also shows that not only do they know their audience, but they respect their audience. They're giving them basically what you would expect a gamer to do with these pieces. Sort them, right? So you're going to give them the resources to do that, and it's just really smart and makes me really happy to know that they know what they're doing with this game. This is a sequel to, not even a sequel, I guess sequel, follow-up to what is considered to be one of the greatest games of all time, and they're, from the get-go, being very smart about their design and that just that just makes me really happy and just set us up to have a good time in this very complex game with a lot of pieces. So good job, Z-Man Games. Hell yeah. So as you can tell by now, Gaia Project definitely has some weight to it. It's not the easiest game to learn, and it definitely has a learning curve. And games like this need a good rulebook. Games like this, and games like this, and games like this do not work without good rulebooks. You need your rules to make sense, or else it's going to be a disaster. And I think this game's rulebook is... actually, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't read this game's rulebook. My friend Matt did, so we're gonna call him up and see what he has to say about it.
Yeah, so the rulebook I haven't read since the summer.
Dude, you
which
mean
is
winter, dog?
Yeah, that's how fucking burnt out I am. Yeah. No, the rulebook is like really well written. My favorite, like, I loved that. Like, not even like the rulebook, like they packaged the game in such a way that like it really showed an attention to detail, because there's a baggie in the box for every single component that you can punch out, and then before you even open the rulebook, there's a little sheet that is like, yeah, rulebook corrections. But there's a word I'm looking for, not redactions.
Dude, I'm like...
Anyway, clarifications
okay.
on the rules, the rewording of the rules. Yeah, so it's really, really cool. Like, even before reading the rulebook, to see that there's an attention to detail there. Like, they actually like give a shit about their game, and then like actually reading the rulebook, everything is super clear. All the there's a lot to process, so like it took about 3 games for everybody to kind of know what they were doing. I knew what I was doing a little bit faster than everybody else because I had the rulebook.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. It wouldn't be Matt playing a game if he didn't get to read the rulebook.
Of course.
Yeah. The only one thing that just like I don't think the rules explained clearly enough is the spending of victory points when somebody builds near you. So basically, when you build a structure within 2 spaces of another player's structure, that enemy player can charge 1 energy, but based on like the number of structures that are near there and the level of the structure being built, you can pay victory points to charge more than 1 energy.
I had no idea that was a rule until you literally just mentioned it.
Yeah, it's because it's just like, I don't know how it works because it's like worded in in my opinion, a weird way.
Right.
But you're always allowed to charge 1 for free.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I've been playing it, and that's how I told everybody else to play it.
The rulebook aside, the basic idea of Gaia Project is you're an alien race trying to colonize the galaxy in the most efficient way possible. The player who has the most points at the end of the game wins the game. There's a ton of different ways to get points. One way is to complete the round objective each turn, each round, and there's 6 rounds by the way. There's an objective that if you complete, you get points. There's also Mario Party objectives, we like to call. If you have the most of something at the end of the game, you get points for that as well. Think Longest Road or Longest Route in Catan and Ticket to Ride, if you've played those games. And if you haven't, and you've played Mario Party, just think about the bonus stars from Mario Party. There are 5 different resources in this game that all serve 5 different specific functions, and I could go into that, but it's gonna make it way more complicated than it needs to be for this video. Maybe I'll make a follow-up analysis video, but what you need to know is there's a lot of resource tracking, and there's a lot of options. I think there's 7 possible actions you can do a turn, and it just gives the player a lot of options and a lot of choices that just makes the game really good for players who are min-maxers and creative in the way that they play. Which actually leads me straight into gameplay, and I think the most interesting thing about this game is you really need to have 300 IQ to be good at this game. You need to min-max your everything from the first turn to the last turn in order to win. I think the overall design, though, is absolutely beautiful. Like, this is just a really great... I don't even know. I would have to make a video essay explaining why it works so well, but I just think for this video, all you really need to know are there are two big things that make this game's design really great. The first one is the game is a lot shorter than it originally appears to be. You basically only have 6 rounds to make it happen, and within those rounds you get a limited amount of turns, obviously depending on how many resources you have. The second thing that I think makes this game really, really interesting is that you can't really interact with other players directly at all. For example, in Catan, which is another Euro game, you're able to at least trade with other players, or in Ticket to Ride, you're at least able to block other players off. In this game, there's none of that. The only thing you can really do is colonize on a planet that might be incentivized by another player, but because it's easier to colonize, but that still takes resources from you. So you really have to beat them with your own brain, and I'm sure there are ways to really screw someone over, but it's really hard to do it directly and in a way that's really in your face. And it just makes the game way more complex, because I've played this game a few times and I've lost every single time. I've never won. Matt has beaten me every time, and it's not like I only play with Matt. We have Felix and Jake, the boys, playing, and Matt has won, I'm almost positive, every single game. And you start thinking about, okay, well, if I can't beat him by min-maxing, because he's better than me at that, and tracking all my resources, how can I hit him down a notch so that I don't need to do that as well, but I'm gonna kind of slow his game down? And that's really hard to do. It's really hard to figure out how you're gonna stop the other player from doing anything. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It makes you yourself have to play better, but you also have to be super creative in the ways that you're impacting another player, because every turn counts. Like I said, like if you take a planet from someone else that they were planning on taking, I expect that is a lot worse than it initially sounds. So I would say that part of the design is amazing, and that's done really, really well. So yeah, for now, here are some just stupid, crazy clips of my friends and I playing this game. I hope you enjoy them. Yeah, so let's just roll them, dude. It doesn't seem like it's that complicated. It just seems like you have a lot of options.
It seems like
I feel like this is. I feel like our first game. Rules. We should just do whatever. We should just go.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, don't think about it too much. And 2 credits.
You spend 2
and an
credits
ore
using
using this special action. And I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3.
What the fuck?
I bingoed my Beppis.
A little overpowered.
Did you pay for the mine?
I did.
What the fuck?
Mines are cheap.
What the fuck? Alright, he got a mine instantly.
Your turn, Jake.
Okay, I'm going to instantly launch a Gaia project.
I want to meteor your shit and blowing up your plants.
Because I'm on 1, so I put 6 from anything.
From anything.
So I'll do 4 and then 2.
Yes.
And I'll put my chumbus here, right?
You need the green thing.
Oh no, I need a green thing.
No, you don't need a green thing.
No, I don't.
Putting that puts a green thing underneath it.
Oh, it does?
So
yes.
That's how it works?
Yes.
And now I have to...
Listen, I want to check
Wait,
something.
I thought you needed 1 from over here.
Yeah, I had 1. Oh, well...
Is it
sorry,
that one?
That was that one, yeah.
Okay. I don't even know how I get 1 over there.
You have to research in your...
1 second.
Oh, fuck. I guess I will research.
I want to see if Connor can get the charge power.
My what?
That's what you're researching? That's what you're looking
It's
at?
not even important right now.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
So that's it? That's all I... Now I
Now
wait?
it's Connor's turn.
Now I wait.
I want to research.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have mine. Yo, cowards. Choose not to smoke crack.
That's a smart decision.
Oh, smart decision. 2 you need?
I'll take the one that gives me the +3 as a special action and the power.
Get out of here, you gay baby.
What the fuck?
Damn, bro. That was kind of cold.
Yeah, it was very
Wait,
cold.
what the fuck? I only start with 1 wisdom?
Yeah, because you're stupid. Look at him.
Dumb as
He's
fuck.
fucking stupid. You're fucking low.
What do all those things do?
And like,
Can you stop?
He's drunk.
Oh, I also have to start with an extra green. I gotta start with the green. Whenever
Oh
you
my
pass,
God,
you get
okay.
4 VP for each big boy you have.
So everyone
But
was
your
like, it's
the
broken.
start of your turn, you get to charge 4 energy.
That's fucked up.
When you pass, you get 1 VP for each green planet you've colonized.
It's fucking broken. It's fucking.
4 gold at the start of the turn. Start of the turn, a wisdom and an ore. When you pass, you get a VP for each mine you go.
What the fuck?
Whenever at the end of your turn,
That's really fucking broken.
a VP for each mine you have, and you get an ore income.
Balance? Where the fuck is the balance?
Fucking smart.
Oh, he's smart.
He's smart as all fuck, boy.
You done?
Yep.
This video game.
I got 5 VP.
You got a big boy? How did you get a big boy?
I spent a lot of money.
Oh boy. That's fucked up.
I'll pass.
Yes, well past.